Hello and welcome to a market reading. Welcome to a video in which we're going to talk about what Bitcoin, Ethereum and USDT has been doing, what I think is going to happen. And without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. So first off, when we were on this top side, I was saying in this channel, this is a good place for us to look for a short. And it looks like it's been a really successful trade. It's been a really lovely place for us to go short. Okay, it's worked out quite nicely. Now, since then, I was tracing a Fibonacci retracement like this, and I was saying, this is where it's a good place to go long, at least for me. We have these liquidity points. We have order blocks, fair value gaps, previous resistances, previous support. It looked like a good place to go up. We didn't, okay, we came crashing down. Next level was the 0.618. We had these points there. We had the 0.618. We had an order block. We had a CME futures gap right there. It made sense for us to go up, but we didn't. Now, there's a different thing. What if instead of tracing it like this, I trace it from this bottom all the way up to the top? Then we get a bit of a different story. Then we get something different, and I'm going to show you why it's not just a Fibonacci thing, okay? First off, we're on the 0.618 level now, like right now. We have gone, and when we go down the time frames, we have gone below this recent low, okay? We've grabbed this liquidity, and I'm also going to combine this with a fixed range volume profile. What is this going to show me? It's going to show me a few things. I'm going to make this in blue so that's a bit easier to see. Okay, so the blue line is going to be the POC, the point of control. What's the point of control? Is the place where there's the most transactional volume, okay, the place of highest interest, which is going to act kind of like a magnet. It's not far off from where we currently are. It would mean a 1.35% drop from where we actually are now. Okay, so a slight deviation, still within our golden pocket. Okay, so it's an area, we haven't come here randomly, we've come to the biggest concentration of volume, where we have the most amount of volume going on. Okay, we are also exactly on the 0.618 level, and ideally, we would get a slight push down. Okay, so having said that, let's carry on with our analysis. What I'm going to do as well, I'm going to turn on our indicators, which you have access for free. Okay, going to turn on, so this is the smart oscillator. Turn on the signals and order blocks to see the order blocks. And look, this is also worth noting. Exactly on the point of control we have got, which is something like this. The point of control is around there. Just before that, we've got an order block, a daily order block. It would make sense for us to get a retest and then potentially start a move up. Okay, I'm not saying all-time high move up to like all the way up to the top. No, we're going to look at that in a different time. But I do think we could get a slightly more push down. Okay, that's my point of view. I'm also going to turn on the smart trend, and that's going to help us out a lot. Okay, so right, at least while I'm making this video, this is pushing down even more. Great. Let's move down. Okay, let's move down on the 8-hourly time frame. 8-hourly time frame, we have got the oscillator nearly, well, we're basically oversold already. Okay, we're basically oversold. Another place which I would like the price to see is to come and hit the 50% zone, the 50% line of this order block. Okay, at least that's that slight push down that I've been talking to you about, a little bit more of a push down on the oscillator, and then get a nice lovely push up on the 8-hourly time frame. Having said that, let's carry on moving down. Let's make our way down very slowly. Look, okay, this is hinting at the exact same thing. We as we go down the time frames, it's like we're using a microscope to zoom in and zoom in and zoom in and have a really nice trade. Okay, now, okay, this is one thing also I do want to mention. This is quite a risky trade. Okay, why? Because, well, the smart trend is purple. What does that mean? If the smart trend is green, you need to be prioritizing long positions. Okay, look, this, you were looking for a long, you were looking for a long, you were looking for a long, which I actually closed. Okay, I made a video on why I closed this long. But when the smart trend is purple, you need to look for short. The smart trend is purple now. So what am I looking for? Long or short? I'm looking for short. Ideally, I'm looking for shorts. This is quite cheeky of me. I'm not necessarily going to be taking this trade. This is just information, and regardless whether I take this trade or not, this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. So you do what you want with that information that I'm giving you. I'm just telling you, this is what I'm reading, this is what I'm seeing. What I do with my money is completely up to me. Okay, so we've got an order block just below there, which is why, you know, it would make sense for the price to get that final little push down, hit this 4 hourly order block, finally get a bit of a rotation on the RSI, and then start the move up. Okay, so it's basically that. That's the way that I use my different time frames. I zoom in to have a really clear picture. Look, exactly the same thing. We are currently on an order block. This is why it just keeps on flashing on and off, because we're not reacting to it. Okay, we're not getting that move back up, and we're just going straight down. And that's why, look. Okay, I'm not gonna keep on saying the exact same thing again and again and again. Okay, but just to show you what a potential trade could look like, maybe something like this. I usually go with a 2% stop loss when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum. At least those two, I don't really give myself much more of a stop loss. Okay, 2%, maybe at a big push, 2.5%, but that's already a bit much. Okay, so potentially something like this, waiting for that little push down, see if this order block is going to be used, and then potentially a little test down to this next following order block. Okay, that's what I think. Next, let's move on to USDT really briefly. USDT, in case you don't know, if it goes up, crypto comes crashing down. As you can tell, USDT has been going up a lot, so crypto has been going down a lot. Okay, so we're going to do a very similar thing. I'm going to trace a Fibonacci retracement from this top all the way to this bottom there. We can see we're now currently testing and inside a daily fair value, a daily order block. I mean, we are approaching very rapidly the 0.618 level and also testing these previous resistances. Okay, so that's why it would make sense, yes, to get a bit more of a push up, which is exactly what I've been saying for Bitcoin, and then start getting a rejection back down. Okay, that's what I think is going on with USDT. It's a really clear, really simple analysis. Now let's move on to Ethereum, okay, because Ethereum, very similar thing. I've already even traced it, I didn't even mean to, but we're inside a daily order block as well, and we had a bit of reaction on the point of control, okay, which is this yellow line. Had a bit of a reaction, yes, but we've come straight crashing through it, and now we are exactly at the value area low, which coincides very nicely with a daily order block, which coincides very nicely with us being oversold, which coincides very nicely with Bitcoin hitting a key level, as well as USDT. So this also could be hinting at quite a good place to get a reaction from Ethereum. Okay, potentially. This is not guaranteed. This is not 110%. This is just, look, we're on a 4 hourly gap, order block. We could be getting a reaction back up. Okay, very conveniently. Also, don't know if you can see this, we've got another order block sitting exactly on the point of control. So potentially we could be going to get a retest back up. At least that's my point of view. As we have seen in this video, or in this channel, I can be wrong. I am a human being. I am allowed to make mistakes, believe it or not. And I'm not a wizard. I'm not able to predict the future. What we do have is some pretty nice indicators that tell us some pretty useful information. And then thanks to them, we can take some pretty good trading decisions. Okay. Once again, what I will be waiting for 100% is for a move back up. I'm not going to try and predict if it's here, if it's there, if it's there. I know I'll make a video saying why and when I'm going to be looking for a short, but the smart trend is purple, which means I need to be prioritizing short positions. As soon as we get to a nice place, I'll make a video and I will say why, what I'm looking for, and where my next target is. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for another market update. I'm really curious to see what the market is going to be doing. Thank you very much, and bye bye.